They called him Space Ace. He was the man who turned rock and roll into something interstellar. A guitarist wrapped in silver, standing under blinding lights, his riffs cutting through smoke and pyrotechnics like cosmic lightning. But tonight, that lightning fades. Ace Frehley, founding guitarist of Kiss, has died at age 74. Reports confirm a fall at his New Jersey home led to a fatal brain bleed. A sudden quiet end to a life that roared with volume. He wasn't just a musician, he was rebellion with a melody. Every chord, every solo, every grin beneath that silver makeup carried an energy that defined an era. He didn't just play guitar, he embodied the sound of escape. And now, as fans light candles across the world, the question lingers. How does a legend like Ace Frehley truly leave the stage? He was born Paul Daniel Frehley in April 1951 in the Bronx. A restless kid drawn to music, electricity, and the hum of distortion long before he owned a guitar. His friends called him quiet, but when he picked up a guitar, he spoke louder than anyone else. He'd play in alleys, garages, anywhere sound could echo. Music wasn't just an interest, it was gravity pulling him towards something bigger. In 1973, that gravity found its destination. He met Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, and Peter Criss. Together, they created a phenomenon called KISS, four personas born from a dream to make music larger than life. Ace became the Spaceman. His silver costume, lightning bolt makeup, and smoking guitar made him a living icon. He wasn't just playing rock music, he was launching it into orbit. The 1970s belonged to Kiss. Albums like Destroyer and Love Gun filled arenas. From Rock and Roll All Night to Detroit Rock City, Ace's guitar riffs became the pulse of rebellion. His sound was unmistakable, sharp, defiant, playful, and deeply human beneath all the fire and smoke. He brought humor and danger to every solo. For millions, Ace was more than a guitarist, he was freedom itself, packaged in platform boots and silver paint. But fame carries shadows. Behind the masks and stadium lights, tension grew. Ace struggled with substance abuse, with the pressure of the image he helped create. Being Space Ace meant always flying higher, but gravity pulls at everyone eventually. Arguments over creative control strained the band. In 1982, after nearly a decade of superstardom, Ace walked away. He said he needed space, not the kind his character represented, but real distance to find himself again. He launched his solo career with the same energy that first made him famous. His debut album, Ace Frehley, went platinum. Songs like New York Groove reminded the world he didn't need a mask to shine. Yet the struggle with addiction continued, haunting the edges of his success. Still, Ace kept playing. He toured, recorded, and lived as a symbol of persistence, flawed, real, and endlessly creative. In the 1990s, when Kiss reunited in their original makeup, fans lost their minds. It wasn't just nostalgia, it was resurrection. Ace stepped back into his silver boots, back onto a stage filled with fireworks and painted faces. The band toured the world again, and for a time, it felt like the universe had rewound itself. But as the years passed, Ace's health and differences with the band re-emerged. Eventually, he left again, this time for good. In the years that followed, his public appearances slowed. Whispers of illness and exhaustion appeared in interviews and cancelled tours. Friends said he was focusing on health, on peace. Still, he'd occasionally post online, guitar in hand, reminding fans that the fire never fully went out. "I'll always be Space Ace," he once said in an interview. "Even when I'm home, I'm somewhere up there." That cosmic energy seemed infinite until now. According to reports from People and Variety, Ace suffered a fall at his home in Morristown, New Jersey. The injury led to a severe brain bleed. Emergency teams rushed him to the hospital, but his condition worsened. Within hours, he was placed on life support. Surrounded by close family, he passed quietly, leaving the world that once screamed his name in stunned silence. There was no stage, no encore, just a man, his family, and a lifetime of music echoing through millions of memories. The news broke early in the morning. Tributes began to pour in immediately. Gene Simmons posted a photo of Ace holding his silver guitar, captioned, "My brother in sonic arms." The universe was yours, and you made it sing. Paul Stanley called him a visionary who turned 6 strings into rocket fuel. Peter Criss said simply, "End of an era, my friend." We were loud. We were legends. Fans followed. Concert halls dimmed their lights in tribute. Classic rock stations played Shock Me and Cold Gin on repeat. On TikTok and X, users shared clips of his solos. Those moments where Ace seemed to disappear into his own galaxy. It wasn't just grief, it was celebration. Fans spoke about their first concert, their first Kiss album, their first guitar solo that made them want to pick up an instrument. Musicians from Metallica to Foo Fighters cited Ace as one of the reasons they ever stepped on stage. His influence cut across decades, genres, and generations. Even in his later years, Ace carried that aura, that playful smirk, that sense that he was in on some cosmic joke the rest of us weren't. He joked about aliens, loved UFO stories, and believed that music itself was a kind of universal signal. And maybe he was right. Now, as tributes fill arenas and airwaves, one truth stands above all. Ace Frehley didn't just change rock, he defined it. He made it theatrical, mythic, otherworldly. His riffs weren't just sounds, they were liftoff. He leaves behind a legacy of sound that will outlive the noise. His mask rests now, his strings are silent, but his legend hums in every amplifier, every record, every kid learning a power chord for the first time. The man who made space feel like home is gone. But somewhere, in the dark expanse between stars and feedback, the echo of his Les Paul still rings, eternal, electric, infinite. Rest in riffs, Space Ace. You've left the stage, but your song will never end.